welcome. It is me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Welcome to this weekly's video. Welcome to this weekly's episode. If you are watching or listening to this via podcast, welcome. If you are watching this, you are on YouTube, you're on X, you're on Facebook. If you are listening to this, you're listening to this either on Spotify or Amazon. Let me know what platform you're using to listen to this podcast. This is Astro Tarot Insights. If you're listening to this via podcast, and welcome. Now, I am going to have to move fast because I am getting work done where I stay. They're changing everything to solar panels, so it's going to be loud. And while they are quickly out, I said, let me hurry up and put up this video. Let me put up this live. Anyway, here are the dates. A little off-centered, a little messy, but here it is. February 3rd, Mercury is going to trine Jupiter. Venus is going to enter Aries. I am filming this live February 3rd on Monday. On the 4th, Jupiter is going to go direct in Gemini. Then on the 6th, we have the North Node in Pisces. It's going to conjunct Neptune in Pisces. On the 9th of February, Mercury is going to conjunct the Sun, a Cazimi, and then Mars is retrograding in Cancer. It's going to trine Saturn. And then on the 10th of February, Mercury is going to square Uranus. Now, I do want you to know that we do have Venus retrograde dates. Actually, let me see, where are they? Here are the Venus retrograde dates. Here, Venus is currently in a pre-shadow phase. And it started when it was in Pisces, and now it's entering Aries. On March 1st, it is when it will be retrograding fully, and it will be at 10 degrees. Let me see. Mars is going to stop retrograding in the sign Cancer. Let me see, February 23rd. Okay, just so you guys can know what is the tea with the retrogrades and all that stuff. Mercury will be retrograding as well. In the sign, same sign as Pisces and Aries as Venus is, and that will happen on the 28th. The pre-shadow phase will start on the 28th. Okay. Yeah, just to let you guys know, I have several videos on this already. Check out my 2025 playlist. That's where the Venus retrograde playlist is, and I go into Mercury retrograding. I also had to do a video on Mars retrograding, and we discussed the fires in LA. I currently live in LA, so if you guys want to know, I want to make sure that my audio is working, and it is. Okay, so let's start with the date. I still cannot share, for some reason I cannot share my screen. I can share my screen on the internet, but I can't share it on my what is this here? My program that I show the asteroids, not the asteroids, the astrology in the sky. So here we have the current, this is today's date that I have up here. If you can see, I'm going to move this over. And I'm just sitting in the corner looking pretty. Hello, gorgeous. Okay, so we're going to start with February 3rd, and I'll explain what you are currently looking at, okay? But this is a screenshot. It's a still shot, but it's okay. We will get through this, okay? Now, on February 3rd, which is today, Mercury is going to trine Jupiter. Mercury's in the sign Aquarius, Jupiter's in the sign Gemini. It's retrograding. So my technology should be working. I'll probably get some clarity on this in a minute. Actually, I'll probably get some more clarity on this as I finish this, but I just want to hurry up and finish. Put this up again, like I said, to help with this, the stuff I have to get fixed. I'm already distracted and no one's here yet. Anyway, but they already set up. They have all their junk, cleared the pathways, laid paper down so they won't mess up any of the flooring. Anyway, but okay, so today, you guys, Mercury is the planet of communication. It's about our thought, it's our ideas, and it's an Aquarius, very intellectual. It's a genius kind of energy. You're talking about space, science, the future. Also, you also have rebellion, communication across the board, and any kind of technology, right? So Mercury in that sign Aquarius is talking about progressive, unconventional ideas, highly intellectual conversations, and visionary thoughts, but there's no emotion attached. Okay, it's very fixated, it's focused on the logic, and it is thinking about big picture ideas. Now, Jupiter is retrograding. Retrograding means it's redoing, but remember, this week it'll get out of that retrograde, but it's redoing in the sign Gemini, which is about our perspective, again, curiosity, communication. It's the air sign, it's immutable, it's adaptable, it's flexible. Jupiter is expansive. It expands everything it touches. It brings good luck to everything it touches. There's wisdom and there's philosophy philosophy. Also could be dealing with law. And so now we're more curious with our conversations, and we're retrograding. So we're doing some past discussions of things too. Anyway, now that we have this transit, which is trine is very positive. It's a blessing. Okay, now that we have this, there's fast communication, there's innovative ideas, there's intellectual expansion, there's humor, because Gemini is very witty, and there's humor, there's futuristic mindset thinking, a very positive outlook on things, very positive communication, conversations, wide range of interests. You're very curious. Maybe there's a gift for planning, which I do have some plans for learning today, which is very fitting for this. Good time for buying and purchasing, because you're dealing with commerce when you're dealing with Mercury. Also, maybe it's a good day for trade. Okay. I don't know much about trade and stocks, but because this is so positive and you're dealing with some commerce in some way, it may be good for trading. But it's a sudden burst of insight, like breakthroughs with science and technology and media and AI. Rapid trend cycles could be happening because it could be happening fast, like lightning speed, social media or internet. There could be some rebellion conversations or communications. However, it's funny. There's satire. Maybe there's some clever debates, but you are revisiting because you're redoing, you're moving slow, and you're remembering, you're reminding yourself of old ways of doing things and thinking and communicating. But there could be some tech advancements today and positive discussions and breakthroughs. Now, today also, so you have that Mercury sitting there. You see it sitting close to the sun. So that's happening this week. That's in the 10th house. I'm pointing, but you can't see. That's above there in the 10th house. Don't pay attention to where it is. I'm just telling you where it is so you can know where these symbols are. And if you also see that Venus is sitting on the edge and is sitting at 29 degrees. Okay. 29 degrees is a potent degree. It represents death and ending and closure. There could be some closure of some friends, or maybe a friend is experiencing a death, or maybe you can have some imbalance here when it comes to addictions and drinking, when you're socializing. All that is coming to an end, right? So drinking, lack of, when it comes to imbalance, when it comes to friends, when it comes to aesthetics, all that is coming to an end. 29 degrees, very potent. And then it enters Aries. And when Venus enters Aries, we're going to feel it really strong. So you may be feeling very impulsive to change your hair to the color red. Okay, to cut your hair. Okay, Venus in the sign Aries is all about act first, think later. But you got to think, because it saves some energy and you might regret some things. But Aries like to move very fast. Now, I did explain to you that Venus is retrograding and it's in a shadow phase currently right now. And I do have a very in-depth video on Venus retrograding in Aries and in the sign Pisces. So please check that out, especially if you want to know your horoscopes. Because we're dealing with this pre-shadow phase, we may be feeling some things off, like things that we're naturally attracting, things that we are naturally attracted to, and support as well, and our money. Okay. Now, if you were born at night, this is going to affect you because Venus is your good luck planet and now it's retrograding. So it may be affecting you. Now, I did a whole video on Blake Lively and I read her chart and talked about some predictions. And I've also discussed this. That is in my community. The link is down below. It's $4.99 a month. I go in more detail. I have my kitchen talk and I also do daily and weekly readings on there. And I get more detailed with celebrities and politics and all that stuff. Anyway, but that video is safe for that group. But if you are a Capricorn, a Cancer, a Libra placement, or had those placements, Venus will be challenging you because it'll be squaring some of your placements or will be opposing if you have Libra placements. Now, if you have fire sign energy, Sagittarius and Leos, this may work out for you as Venus is in Aries. Okay. So it'll be trining some of your planets. That's very positive. Some blessings. Aries, if you have any placements in Aries, like a Mars in Aries, ooh, very strong. That's my daughter. Mars in Aries or Venus in Aries or a Sun in Aries. This is going to conjunct, Venus in Aries is going to conjunct your planet and your personal planets and in your chart. And this is strong. Okay. It could be good or bad, or it's just going to be strong. So you will be feeling it. Okay. So listen up to everything that I have to say if you have all these placements, or you could just be paying attention to what's going to happen to the collective, because it may not happen to you personally, but you can sit and watch and be like, oh, this is what Danyell was talking about. Okay. Now, Venus in Aries. You're talking about bold attraction, fierce love, independence, passion driven desires. Venus is all about your aesthetics, your beauty. It's about law, it's about balance and harmony. Aries is very bold. It's about the action, it's fearless. There's impulsivity, it wants to be first. It's about the independent, about the I. Okay. So Venus in Aries is very adventurous, is very passionate. Love becomes more direct and intense. Fashion even becomes fearless, right? And experimental, a very attention grabbing because you're dealing with that fire energy. Now, when it comes to Venus and love, it's all about the self love and loving confidence or loving a bold approach when it comes to relationships. People become more confident when dating and in love. There's attraction to strength and independence and being self sufficient and being courageous and being passionate. I was talking to a friend and she says she's dating herself. That's Venus in Aries, right? Instant attraction, fast-paced romance is what you get when you have Venus in Aries. So be careful because you can have a crush and it could move really fast. Also, there's spontaneous hookups. Okay, you're like, why do we hook up? Because that's that spontaneous Aries moving fast. Flirting will be more direct, more playful. And what else do we have? Fast-paced relationships. I said that. Focus on personal and self-love and maybe personal style too. There's glow-ups and makeovers. Very impulsive. It's like, what made you shave your beard on your face? Aries does represent the face. So a lot of things dealing with the head. So like a haircut or a hair color, more on the red side because it deals with that Aries, that fire, more red, orange kind of energy. You may be drawn to people who are very strong, and you're dealing with Venus. Venus represents women, it represents a team. So a very strong team, a very strong female, a leader who's female, who's a female. People might gravitate to people who stand out, who are very bold, adventurous, and a risk taker kind of energy. Let me see. Oh, also competitive. Aries represents because it wants to be first. So you might be attracted to someone who's really competitive, are confident and passionate and excited. We might be attracting people who are go-getters or risk takers because Venus is also what you naturally attract. Now, Venus is also about the social parties, right? So you could be at a party and it could be like a competitive party, like a very athletic party, or who's going to get it first, or there could be a theme about the color red. May seem demonic, but it's very Venus and Aries kind of energy. Winner take all kind of party, celebrating the self. Like if you're like, let's love ourselves, we don't need a man. That's very Venus and Aries, okay? Fast energy, fearless. If you have a party and it's like a race car kind of party, or something like that, that would be Venus and Aries. Social media, but the social media party, but social media is, you're attracted to social media that it's all about loving yourself and embracing yourself and self-care and self-love, dating yourself. All that is very Venus and Aries, supporting the self and something new. Aries also represents new and first and the beginning of something. So the beginning of something and having a social media or a platform or a party in that kind of aspect. Okay. Now, for as fashion and aesthetics, people will probably be dressing more boldly. Again, a lot of red, a lot of strong female energy, hot pinks, maybe metallics, leather, anything that looks hardcore, like how Rihanna dresses, sometimes with the tattoos and the piercings. All that could be attractive. The bold eyeliner, strong brows, dressing up the head, right? So like a wig, a head wrap, a hat, all that is very Venus and Aries, like really dressing up the head. Okay. Statement boots could be happening because it's very masculine too. Just being very fearless with any kind of trend. Now, what we're not going to like while Venus is in Aries, and it is pre-shadow phase, but we're not going to like people who are clingy. Okay. So when it retrogrades, which I discussed, it might be people who are too clingy, people who are indecisive or passive energy. It's going to be very unattractive and off-putting. As a collective and people getting support, you won't get support with that energy. If you're overly emotional, if there's like needy behavior, if you're taking too long, like playing hard to get, Venus and Aries doesn't like that. Okay. It wants to chase, it wants to move fast. If you're talking about being last, Venus and Aries is not attracted to that. Okay. Now, be careful of instant attractions, getting burnt out really quick, being impatient in relationships, fighting over control, because that Aries energy is very aggressive. Be careful of that. And the ego, the self, and it's clashing with love. That could be happening because maybe your partner is too controlling, or maybe you can't find the balance between the self and the relationship. Be aware of that. Jumping into relationships too quickly, competitive, like when dating, makes me think of that fast dating energy. You might be going to a party with that, but just slow down. Impulsive buying could be happening while Venus is in Aries. Be careful what you're spending, practical financial discipline, big purchases and investments. Don't jump into that, okay? Or like a business deal or like a partnership with a partner too fast. You're being too spontaneous. Date a little bit, slow it down, okay? Save your money for the future. Any type of beauty aesthetics, don't be impulsive, you might regret it, okay? Yeah, just, and also the try hard energy could be happening, okay? Let me see what else. Partying too hard or too often, arguing over small things, struggling to balance fun and responsibility. Okay. Yeah, that's what I have for Venus in Aries. I have way more on that, so check that out. Now on February 1st, if you see Jupiter is in that second house, Jupiter, it won't be red anymore. It will be fully direct. Red means that it's retrograding when you're looking at this picture here. The screenshot, it's currently in 11 degrees. That's what that screenshot says. And it'll be going direct. So then it'll be moving to 12, 13, 14, 15, all the way to 29, right? When Jupiter is in the sign Gemini, it goes direct. First of all, Jupiter, again, is the planet of growth, wisdom, opportunity. It expands. Gemini is dealing with communication, socializing, information, being adaptable, social media, the news, how we get writing, okay, anything dealing with communication. When it goes direct, now these things are not being reassessed. We're not being reminded. We're not moving slow. It is moving fast. Okay. And Gemini is already a fast energy. And now it's fast expansion, innovation when it comes to curiosity and adaptability and communication. So now you have rapid communication, intellectual breakthroughs, shift in media. Maybe there's a change in your community because Gemini represents a community. Your day to day travels, that could be transit with a train, a bike, walking on feet, all that. There will be a shift moving forward. Also, Gemini represents early education. So learning, you'll be able to learn, and maybe the information is moving fast, but you're able to quickly get the beginnings of things. Okay. Also, technology, social media, siblings is also connected to Gemini. So there'll be a movement forward with your siblings. Okay. So as a collective, social media platforms, there'll be updates. Maybe the algorithm will be better or changing. Independent content creators, especially with that Pluto in Aquarius and the Sun in Aquarius and Mercury in Aquarius, all those things start to move forward in the digital platform and online. Educators are maybe learning something online or communicating online. The spread of information is going to move way faster. When Gemini was direct before, I was like, this is information overload. That will be happening. Challenge in traditional news sources, of course, with that Pluto and Aquarius, all that is going to be shifted and moving faster, especially with that Jupiter and Gemini going direct. Anything online with education and learning, and maybe learning a language, all that's going to shift and be more positive or move fast, or you'll probably start to learn something online if you haven't already. Wow. Surprise. I'm surprised because that will be changing. Developments in travel and transportation. Gemini does represent the day-to-day travel. So if there's any restrictions that you've been experiencing, this should be uplifted. It will be moving forward. Pluto is still in the sign Aquarius. Aquarius represents flight and navigation, and also getting down to the secrets and dirtiness of all that. So we still have that going on, but if it's your day-to-day travel with a car, it's going to be moving direct. You'll get your electric scooter, public transportation, biking, all that will start to improve. Okay. And even probably like how we commute day to day, those things will start being more advanced. Now, when you're talking about trade, you're talking about freelancing, you're talking about marketing, all that stuff would enhance because Gemini, Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So these things start to improve. Cryptocurrency, the stock market, yeah, all those with trades will start to be moving forward. Mercury in the sign Aquarius currently let me look at the chart, is the ruler of this. So yeah, this was all be about communication, because now we're dealing with two air signs. They're trining, it's positive. A lot of communication is a lot of energy of moving fast. Okay. Scandals, leaks, viral moments, all that will be coming forward. You're talking about your emails, your text messages, if you've been recorded or some way, anything media driven or communication will be moving forward, and it will be amplified, it will be expanded. You're talking about your debates. Misinformation may be spreading rapidly too, because that movement is moving faster. Okay. Just remember, you may have some information overload. You may have short attention spans. You don't overpromise things, because that Jupiter overpromise, especially when it comes to communication. Be aware that there could be some increased misinformation, and yeah, AI kind of fakes or dupes. Be aware of that while you're while Jupiter is direct. Okay. Now February 6th, we have the North Node. And do I have it on this chart? I don't have it on this chart, but I took it out. But North Node is in Pisces. Next video that's coming up is going to be about the North Node, and not the North, the eclipse coming up, because we have eclipse in Virgo, a little in Aries coming up. Anyway, but on February 6th, the North Node in Pisces is going to conjunct Neptune in Pisces. Okay. Conjunction is strong. It's going to be good or bad. Okay. You're talking about Pisces energy. So you're talking about spirituality, things you can't touch, divination, tarot, dreaming, sleeping, dream messages. Yeah. Psychic abilities. All that is going to be more intense or deepened or strong. You may have some confusion here, or you may be being paranoid, or you might be lost in the sauce. There may be some fogginess, or you may have clarity through your intuition and spirituality. The North Node is about our karma. It's about our destiny, what we're doing to move forward. And there could be some healing. You could be releasing some things, forgiving, unresolved traumas, deep-seated fears. You may be resurfacing that, and there's some healing there. Pisces is also about sacrificing, self-sacrificing, and being codependent. Maybe that's going to force you to release some boundaries or address the boundaries. Emotional release is necessary with this transit. So be aware of that. Mars is retrograding in Cancer, which is also a water sign. So you do have that trine element of paying attention to your past and your ancestry, or where you feel safe in your foundations, and connecting it to your future of releasing and forgiving. There is escapism with this placement, so be aware of that. Like, you don't want to address what you need to address to move forward. People may struggle between the truth and deception. Yeah, just be aware of any type of manipulation or false idols or unrealistic expectations, looking at things through a rose-colored lens. The fogginess, always what is going to be clear with this is your intuition. Okay. Yeah, just be aware. Also, with media and politics, there could be some deception with this. With moving forward, there could be some water events happening too, water-related natural events. Because you are talking about the ocean, the weather, the water, fish, floods, hurricanes, the sea level. All that could be a big deal. Okay. And it can be cleansing out some energy. Now, February 9th, Mercury is going to be in Cazimi with the sun. You already see in that 10th house that they're sitting pretty close. Now, Mercury moves fast. Now it's sitting in the heart of the sun. So when it's in the heart of the sun, you are talking about an announcement of some sort. Something big is going to be released, especially when you're talking about Aquarius. You're talking about freedom of speech. You're talking about transgender themes, aviation. You saw that the plane crashed. I had to deal with that new moon in Aquarius. That was very strong. You're dealing with emotions and the people. Also, air travel, navigation, intellectual themes like science, the future, space. All that could be announced or brought to our attention. The sun highlights these things. Mercury is all about communication and our thought in that Aquarius theme, right? So you could be detached to some things emotionally, and you're more rational. Those things could be more big. Just the freedom of speech and communication and social media, all that is going to be bigger with this sun highlighting it. Okay. So you are talking about TikTok, you are talking about Telegram, you are talking about these podcasters that announce things, that say things, that could be bigger. Communication becomes analytical and unconventional. While I was doing Blake Lively's chart, this is in her 7th house of relationships and law, also with her open enemies. So something could be brought to the surface more with that as well. You could be having a big tech announcement, social media, AI evolution, a shift in social and political debates, discussions, government. This is about Senate as well, because Aquarius represents the Senate. Any type of group or community or network, also that could be highlighted too. So people could have a know-it-all behavior with this conjunction. Be aware of that. Okay, people are like, no, this is what it is, and there's a detachment with the emotion. So just straight up communication without any emotion, or there could be a rebellion, a discussion of rebellion, an announcement of a rebellion. Be aware of that. Okay, now that same day Mars is retrograding in Cancer, is going to trine Saturn in Pisces. And Saturn brings the challenges and the lessons. The trine is positive, so the challenge is positive. Okay, so it's like, what is the hardcore lesson here? Let's be realistic, let's be logical, let's be practical, let's think of long-term challenges to help you achieve your goals. Okay, so you're talking about the drive to be realistic about your past insecurities or your loss, because Mars in retrograding Cancer is about your past. That Pisces energy could be about your loss. Saturn in Pisces also is like, be realistic about these boundaries that you don't set up, and this can help with your foundation, which represents that Cancer. There's compassion and empathy here, a lot of emotional and psychological shifts, healing of wounds through patience and discipline, past emotional pain. There's maturity here, there's patience, emotional boundaries with your family, your mother, your household, where you feel safe. Okay, yeah. Now Saturn does make things very cold. Saturn does make things very long-term, patient. Saturn lacks the compassion. Now, but in Pisces, there is compassion. So there could be some love, but it's very serious in love, very stern with love. Okay. What else do we have? Revisiting past actions, frustrations, and conflicts. Acting out of anger is what you can have. This is a trine, so it's not acting out of anger, but there could be some anger that some people have that was very frustrating and limiting, and it was from your past, and now there is clarity with that as well. Okay, but yes, what else do we have? Ancestral patterns that could be looked at, and it could be more serious and more focused, and you're paying attention to the details, and you're willing to forgive. There's commitment and emotional stability, long-term success with emotional intelligence, or using your emotional intelligence, because that Cancer is emotional intelligent. It's retrograding though, so it's redoing, it's repeating, it's reminding, it's moving slow. Okay, yeah, finding strength in sensitivity as well. Now, February 10th, this is the last day of that I'm going to say, and I think this is on a Monday, actually. Mercury is going to square Uranus. Mercury is in a sign Aquarius. Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius. So squaring is no bueno. Uranus is in a sign Taurus, okay? So this is about fast, fast, fast energy. Taurus is more fixated. It doesn't want to move. It doesn't want to budge, but you are talking about your finances, what you value, also the voice, the throat. So what does this look like? Mercury in Aquarius, again, very fast, very intellectual, right? But there's some verbal outbursts. You're talking about, you could be fighting on social media. You could be fighting, and someone out of the blue is chaotic about your resources. Tech, finances, AI disruptions, rebellion against traditional thinking, resistance to change, mental overload, difficulty in staying grounded, tendencies to nervousness, because Uranus is restless and impatient, erratic thinking, erratic communication, lack of focus, overstimulated. You guys, you want to stay grounded, okay? Because this is a lot of communication. I would just not be on social media around this time, okay? Impractical, excessive mental pride and stubbornness, a lot of lightning speed of ideas. You could be speaking very impulsively and leading to some conflicts. Okay, radical, unconventional ideas, shorten attention spans. Just pause, write things down, move slow. Okay, think slow. This square, Mercury squaring Uranus, creates impatience in communication. So be aware of that, and say, okay, you know what, Danyell, I'm being impatient. Calm down, because people could be very blunt and disruptive, and you have to forgive them when it comes to the conversations. Okay, again, with the shocking news that could be happening globally with this placement, challenges in authority and traditional ideas, a lot of debates. I'm not here for that energy right now. I need a chill pill with that. Okay, people could easily feel restless or irritable or rebellious. Okay, Remember to be flexible whenever you're dealing with Uranus. Surprises could be coming your way. Just chill, be open minded, avoid any heated debate, especially when it comes to online or social media. Step away from conversations if tensions arise, okay? But there could be some digital platforms that could be acting up or bring a surprise your way, or shocking technology or shocking AI, okay? Just back up all your files, be aware of any misinformation online, be flexible, and because digital tools, you can't depend on them. They are going to change. We have no control over them. Okay. Financial shifts and market vitality, that could be changing. Okay. So stock markets, cryptocurrency, the money, all that could be an issue. Anything dealing with stocks, be aware of that. Just avoid any risky financial decisions. Just know people may have the need to be wanting to feel free. Freedom of speech could be a big issue with this. Yeah, anything dealing with Aquarius is freedom of speech, transgender, social media, yeah, all that. Just information overload, mental over exhaustion. Yeah, and that is what I have for the week, you guys. I'm gonna pull some cards here for us as a collective, and hopefully I'll get my technology cleared out for everyone. The workers are here, so I'm going to move fast when I pull this. Okay. For us as a collective this week, we have the world. So this is all about success, long-term energy. I'm very positive. There's conclusions, there's graduations, there's hard work and patience. It represents Saturn. Saturn, what I said, is like the patience and long-term energy, thinking long-term, but there's also closure and success. There's a challenge that will be achieved this week, and we'll be very happy about it because we put in a hard work. Let's see what else we have. We have the magician. Magician is Gemini and Mercury. A lot of communications will be up and down this week. Do be aware of that. Mercury is also, this is the energy of manifesting. So what is above is below. You have all the tools that God has given us. You need to use your natural tools and your natural ability. What else about Mercury? It's infinite possibilities, a lot of discussions, a lot of learning, a lot of communications. Okay. Let's see what else we have for the collective. We have the Chariot, and Mars is retrograding in a sign Cancer. The Chariot does represent Cancer. So here we're talking about Saturn is very important here to workers. Cancer is about using your intuition and using empathy and love, and also really focusing on your home and your past and your ancestry and your roots. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Yes, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share this video. That helps me out. All right. Bye.